Welcome to my home, friends. If you're new here, my name is Karen. I'm getting ready for the holidays. I'm starting to deep clean some of my appliances and also some of my normal scheduled work. While I am deep cleaning, I'll show you what I'm doing. And while I am doing normal chores, I'm going to throw in some affirmations for you to get us ready for the holidays. I'm getting started with the dishwasher. I'm going to remove that bottom rack to get it out of the way, and then I'm going to remove the catch-all for the drain. And isn't that disgusting? It definitely needs to be cleaned. I start out by wiping it, getting anything loose that I can get off, but I quickly realize that it's going to need more than just wiping with a wet rag, and that's the area around it. Again, that had a lot of grime on it. I rarely ever clean this. My husband cleans out the drain part to get any food particles out, but we don't actually scrub it. This is after I wiped it. So I'm putting it back in, and I'm going to run a load with a cup of vinegar, which I'm going to place in the top rack, and then I'm spreading baking soda all over the bottom. And I'm going to run an entire cycle to loosen up all that dirt. Now that I've run my hot water cycle, everything wipes up really easily. The baking soda and vinegar not only cleans, but it also deodorizes. Now everything is loose and easy to wipe off. And look, I even found a pebble in the bottom of my dishwasher that must have come through our water. Our water is technically well water from our association, so that explains the pebble. So strange. I'm going around and wiping all of the sides. It's amazing how grimy these areas get, and I don't necessarily think to clean them, so I need to be working on that a little more diligently. Now that it's done, guess what? I'm going to have to fill it with dirty dishes because they were waiting in the sink. That is a large family problem. I kept waiting to clean my dishwasher until there were no dishes that needed to be washed, and finally I realized that just doesn't happen and had to dive in. Little by little, I'm dealing with some deep cleaning projects that I didn't get done in my fall clean. Even if we don't have company coming for Christmas or Thanksgiving, it always feels good to have everything deep clean so that you can just relax with your family in a home that welcomes you. If you're like me, knowing company is coming can really trigger anxiety. I have always felt like my home just wasn't good enough or looked beautiful enough. We moved into this house in 2001. The house and the decor was all original to the house, which was built in 1987, and for years, I wanted a new kitchen, and I've shared that before, and we finally do have a new kitchen. But even with the new kitchen, my anxiety just looks for new places to point. The kitchen's done, and now I think, oh, if we could only redo the bathrooms. Over the years, what I've had to tell myself is, number one, people aren't coming to see your house, and if they are, that's actually a problem on them and not on you. I try to focus on the things I can control. Even if a room isn't perfect, it looks a whole lot better when it's neat and tidy. And at the end of the day, when I go to someone else's home, I much prefer they welcome me with open, loving arms than to have a Pinterest perfect home. After all, the holidays are about love and laughter and enjoying each other, not about showing off our homes. These are the things I try to remind myself of when company is on its way. And I honestly try not to torture my family by trying to have that perfectly clean home. I have to admit that I'm really trying to please that little voice inside my head. It's really not so much about what I think the people coming are going to think. So I'm doing my best to start nice and early to get some projects done, to have a good list of what I want to get done. I'm going to take you along with me, and I can motivate you while I get my things done. One of our friends here that you'll see down in the comments below, her name is Glennis, and she asked if I would clean my oven for some motivation, and that's something I've been procrastinating, so I was really glad she asked, and you'll see that in my next video. In fact, I'm filming that today. If you need some motivation in a specific project, I invite you to ask me in the comment section below. Here's a YouTube reality check. I bet you were picturing the rest of my kitchen clean as I was cleaning out my dishwasher, but here's the reality is you only see what's in my camera lens, and this is what the rest of the kitchen looked like while I was prioritizing the dishwasher, but sometimes that's the only way that's going to get done. I have to ignore the rest while I get that one project done that's been in my craw. My kids had gone to visit friends and they had brought some food with them, so I'm just cleaning out the cooler bag that they had brought with them, and I'm going to wipe it down so that it can be stowed away. Cleaning and organizing for company to come is actually the easy part. The hard part is doing the work inside to really think about where our identity comes from and why we are so anxious about inviting people into our homes. That's the part that we'll be working on the rest of our lives, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. With the kitchen under control, I'm getting started deep cleaning my washing machine. I'm using 2 cups of vinegar here, pouring it where the softener goes and all around the drum. Now I'm adding it to that little spot where bleach goes. I'm going to start the washing machine filling on its hottest water cycle, and then once I have that running well, I'm going to add a bunch of baking soda also all around the drum so that the vinegar and baking soda can do the same job it did for me in my dishwasher. While that's doing its work, I'm going to go to my bedroom and get my bed made and get things tidied up there. Let me know in the comments below if you struggle with any holiday anxiety knowing that company is coming, or anxiety on a day-to-day basis when you think that someone might be coming. Also, are there special cleaning tasks or organizing tasks around your house that you would like to see done before the holidays? Let me know. As I get older, I notice that anxiety worsens. It doesn't get better. And so it's something I've really been trying to work on, is knowing where my anxiety is actually coming from. And that has me thinking a lot about my identity. It's so easy for me to let my identity be wrapped up into, what does my home look like? How do my children behave? What does my marriage look like on the outside? The truth is, all looking perfect does is make other people feel bad about where their life is. Let's take a minute from this heavy talk and just look at this cat. He thinks this bed is his, and he is determined to stake his claim on my white blanket. He has no identity issues. He knows he's the king. Back to identity. I have noticed that people connect to me better when I can show them the real me with my weaknesses and warts. I don't need to flaunt my problems, but at the same time, I don't need to hide the true me for people to love me. Our true identity comes from the fact that we are created in the image of God, and that He loves us and loved us so much that He sent His Son to die on a cross for us so that we could have forgiveness for all of our sins and imperfections and be in heaven for eternity with Him. We don't need to be someone that we're not, because if God can accept us when we put our faith in Him, we don't need to worry about whether we are accepted by every other person. As I go through my home and as we go through preparatory things together, I have so much content for you for holiday preparation. Let it be so that we can have a joyful, relaxing holiday, and not so that people will think a certain thing about us. There's my dining room, and all it needed was a little quick pick up and straighten. I can hear that the washing machine is done, so I'm going in there and now I'm getting it all wiped down with a microfiber cloth. This is an older washing machine. I'm super thankful for it. It's really large and it has worked great for me. You can see there's some rust on the lid there, as well as you can see the black coming down from the top in the drum. So that is from hard water stain and mildew. So I'm getting that wiped down using a little extra vinegar. I'm also struggling with my Downy leaving a lot of residue. So if that's something you struggle with too and you have a simple solution, let me know. I think I just need to wipe it down each time, or maybe once a week or something, to keep that more at a minimum, because it does tend to really build up. Then I decided that I needed a little extra, so I'm spraying in some of my Method Lavender All-Purpose Cleaner as I'm getting things wiped up, and I also needed to keep things wet so that they were ready to move. This is probably only the second time I've done this job this year, so I definitely need to be doing it more often. There's words on the top of this thing, so I'm getting in there with a little toothpick and getting the grime out that way because it's impossible to get it out with my microfiber cloth. And I just kind of like doing this because it makes things look so clean and new again. I don't think anyone else in the family notices this when I do it except for me. If you've seen my laundry routine in the past, you know that as people get dressed in the morning and have showers, they throw their towels and clothes right in the washing machine. So I actually had to remove dirty clothes from the washing machine so I could run that cycle and get it clean. So now I'm just putting it back in the washing machine and I can get it washed and get my morning load done for the day. Next up, I'm getting my Keurig clean and I'm going to be descaling it, which just means that I'm going to be trying to get any chemicals from my water out of the inside of that Keurig. This should be done every 3 to 6 months, and I'm using about 10 ounces of white vinegar. The rest of my reservoir was filled with water, and now I'm just emptying it by filling cup after cup after cup. Once my Keurig tells me that it's empty, I'm going to let it sit there for 4 hours. So I'm putting up a sign on my Keurig telling everyone what time they're allowed to use it again. Then what you're going to want to do is run another clean cycle through the Keurig. Otherwise, your coffee is going to taste like vinegar. I have so much more holiday content coming up for you, and I'm so excited. I really want to help you to get ready for the holidays this year. From cleaning to organizing to baking to freezer meals ahead to wrapping presents. I just can't wait. So I hope you'll stick around. I'll have a holiday clean in the upper right hand corner that you can click on and keep on watching. Remember that God loves you and I love you too, and I can't wait to see you next time.